In this lesson, you will learn how the brain processes pain, why some areas of your body are more sensitive than they used to be, and how we can decrease pain sensitivity. Pain is good. You heard that right. Pain is a natural protective reaction. When you touch something hot, you withdraw from the harmful stimulus. The intense sensation and adverse emotion tell your brain to move away. Some people, like those with diabetes and individuals born without neural systems, can develop dangerous conditions and injuries without ever being aware. Various genetics are also thought to influence our ability to detect painful stimuli. For 3 generations, an Italian family has carried a rare genetic mutation. As a result, they feel no pain. One family member broke her shoulder while skiing, but kept skiing and waited until the next day to have it examined. The alarm signal in your brain helps you become aware of danger. When pain is continuous or appears without cause, then it becomes a nightmare. Human documentation of understanding pain via the reflex arc can date back to the 1600s. Pain is based on neurological pathways running from the source of the pain to the spinal cord and then the brain, causing the motor nerves to engage in a withdrawal reaction. There are different types of pain, the most common being nociceptive. This pain lasts a brief period where removal of the stimulus soon results in the body restoring homeostasis. The pain is a warning, telling you to check your body to prevent further harm. If you started a step on a nail, your pain would tell you to stop before placing your foot completely on it. Imagine you're building a shed and a thorn touches your skin. You identify the offending item, remove it, and the pain goes away fairly quickly. While you were hammering away, you miss the nail and hit your thumb very hard. The pain builds and the thumb becomes swollen. This is inflammatory pain. It persists for several days until healing has completed. While more annoying than nociceptive pain, it is still protective pain because it reminds us to be careful with the thumb until the injury is back to normal. Back on the roof, a nail pokes you, startling you. You fall off the roof and break your wrist, severing a nerve. Hospital, doctor's visits, and months later, the fracture is healed, and as far as the doctors are concerned, everything is back to normal. Burning pain starts to build in the wrist. You don't move it because it hurts. Even air from the fan or a splash of water feels like fire. The pain is intense and constant, but the pain isn't from the original injury because it has already healed. This type of pain has not been felt by the majority of the population, but they likely know someone who has felt it before. This is neuropathic pain. It is abnormal and indicates an issue in the nervous system. Damage can be the result of trauma, metabolic alterations, degeneration, and others. This damage causes the brain and nerves to lose the ability to detect the difference between pain and injury. Depending on the ability to identify your pain, you will be placed in one of 2 categories. Those injuries and illnesses with a known origin, such as a broken bone, are classified as evident and respectable, or organic in nature. Injuries that lack a well-known origin could be called a number of things, such as non-organic, psychogenic, and functional pain. Common illnesses that fall under this category include irritable bowel syndrome, fibromyalgia, or chronic fatigue syndrome. I am regularly asked by clients and professionals, is the pain real? Today, there is no easy and accurate way to measure how much pain a person is experiencing. Even worse, there's no way to tell if it's real or imagined. While there are many methods to determine if a person is in pain, a person's pain perception will present the same as a neurological disorder. Blood pressure, heart rate, facial and posture expressions, and limitations are all examples of nociceptors at work. For example, if you are deathly afraid of spiders and you see a video of spiders running all over someone, would you remain calm? Of course not. When you see someone hit their head, do you grimace or feel a little bit of pain in your own head? Maybe. Even though the personal threat to you doesn't actually exist, your fear and pain response is activated. If you search rubber hand experiment videos, you will find many people who know the rubber hand isn't actually their own, but feel pain when the fake hand is hit. The biggest thing to remember is that if you believe pain is real, then it is, and no one can tell you otherwise. Nociceptors, our injury detectors. The stimulus required to activate a nociceptor is not the energy of activation, but the damage capacity. Nociceptors are found in the skin, in most organs, muscles, joints, and other areas. They are made of A, delta, and C fibers, the thinnest nerve fibers and the slowest to respond to nerve impulses. There are different types of nociceptors. Thermal, which reacts to heat or cold. Mechanical, that activates with intense strain. Chemical, which can be released internally or externally. Silent or sleeping must first react to tissue inflammation, then respond to mechanical, thermal, or chemical. Polymodial reacts to mechanical, thermal, and chemical, and mechanothermal, which responds to mechanical and thermal sensations. Skin temperatures over 103 degrees Fahrenheit or lower than 68 degrees Fahrenheit respond the same via polymodial nociceptors. This is why extreme heat and cold both create a burning sensation. All of us at some point have eaten something that was spicy hot and not heat hot, such as a pepper. Peppers, including pepper spray, contain capsaicin, which activates the polymodal nociceptors, causing the burning sensation. Even though your mouth is not literally on fire, your taste bud nociceptors don't know the difference. So why do some cultures have an easier time eating spicy foods than others? Prolonged exposure of capsaicin to nociceptors causes desensitization. Consuming large quantities, especially early in life, will cause an individual to require higher doses to feel the burn. Even outdoor bird food from the store contains capsaicin to deter the squirrels. But birds only have about 50 taste buds versus around 9,000 in humans, allowing them to eat without any reaction. Believe it or not, some topical pain-relieving creams contain capsaicin. The cream delivers warming sensations, but with repeated application to the skin, the nociceptors become inactivated. Cold receptors can also be activated with menthol products. Polymodial nociceptors are also sensitive to environmental changes. Tissue damage in the body causes cell destruction. Injured cells release chemicals during the inflammatory process that causes a sensation of pain. One such example is a sunburn. When the sun is out, our body can feel the heat and sense the bright light. Unfortunately, there are no nociceptors that detect the ultraviolet radiation from the sun. The body will try to counteract the UV rays by creating melanin to darken the skin, but this natural reaction does not happen fast enough to prevent you from being burned. UV rays have already damaged your skin, enacting an inflammatory response. Pain sensations build as the already damaged cells release chemicals to the area, increasing activation of the nociceptors. The longer a nociceptor is activated, the stronger the response gets to lesser stimuli. As the sensitivity of the nociceptor amplifies, the pain threshold changes. This is why suddenly the touch of your clothes on a sunburn can feel painful, even though you did not notice it previously. This same theory can apply to chronic pain, when little things cause intense pain. The increase in pain sensitivity is called hyperalgesia. The painful feeling from a previously non-harmful stimulus, such as your shirt, is allodynia. Your ability to adapt to the sensation is related through stimulus intensity to sensory perception, resulting in either sensory amplification or sensory adaptation. Sensory adaptation is our ability to ignore certain feedback and focus on the ones we find more important. Even though the sunburn might hurt, when faced with a more life-threatening event, such as noticing an 18-wheeler headed directly your way, you will temporarily not notice the sunburn until the threat has passed. All of the reactions you see and feel from a sunburn are the same responses other areas of the body can go through. As annoying as an injury can be, nociceptors alert us the injury has occurred and release chemical compounds to help speed up the healing process. Thus, the same nociceptor produces sensory and motor responses. Interestingly enough, not all nociceptors have the same level of sensitivity. Some, called sleeping nociceptors, only activate with major injuries. Stimulation of sleeping nociceptors may be secondary to persistent pain or chronic inflammatory pain. Chronic pain is not just about decreasing pain levels, but also decreasing sensitivity. For years, opioids have been given as analgesics to remove pain. With the recent epidemic, doctors are realizing that anti-hyperalgesics might be better options. These drugs allow normal perception of pain and reduce the sensitivity of the pain system. Think of it like taking a test with a stereo blasting. Turning down the volume reduces the annoyance, but you can still get a headache from the test itself. Many nociceptors are connected to C fibers, but C fibers also transmit other sensory information via their slow-conducting sensory fibers. For a chronic pain individual, the C fibers may send abnormal pain signals for temperature or light touch. In most people, a caress is a pleasurable feeling. The same movement can cause pain or pleasure depending on how the brain processes emotions and decides how to react. C fibers are also related to an itch, a weak form of pain. This sensation is unpleasant, but we have an uncontrollable urge to scratch. Initially, scratching feels so good, but we know it will increase the desire to continue, and that is not the best course of action. An itch is often the result of chemicals, such as histamine, released as an allergic response, but it can be caused by some skin diseases and other chemical compounds, such as opioids. An itch shows the strong relation between pain and pleasure that are transmitted to the brain along the same path. Wow, I know that was a lot of technical information, so here's the summary. Traditionally, a certain level of pain is required to alert your brain of danger, such as touching a sharp needle. With chronic pain, the level is smaller, and normally non-threatening sensations, such as touching a paperclip, can cause the same reaction that lasts a longer period of time. So what do we need to do? We need to decrease your sensitivity level. And how do we do that? Guess what? You have already begun. Individuals with higher levels of pain education, pain neuroscience education, report lower levels of pain. We also increase the flow of blood and oxygen with various exercises. You follow medication guidelines given to you by your doctor. Decrease stress responses with relaxation, meditation, and breathing. Address sleep, diet, faulty thinking, and others. While the process may seem slow at times, stick with it. Your pain did not increase overnight, and it will take time to lower. Hang in there.